Brian Carlin and Paul Honor.
Hey, welcome to Road Less Traveled, episode 59. We are here with our super special guest, Matt Sassano of Knoxville, Tennessee, a fellow Knoxvillian. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Dude, it's awesome to be here. Like I was saying, dude, it's great to get the local support in. Like I do a lot of podcasts, but meeting you and all you guys do, it's really awesome. I'm excited to be here, man.
Well, we're excited to have you, Brian. How you doing today, man?
Not too bad. And I didn't grab CDs either because I was busy hanging up curtains and stuff today.
You were doing decorating.
Yeah. Oh, really? You were doing some decorating in your house?
Just the curtains because it has blinds and my cat's attacking them.
I was going to say, you better be fall apart. Taking down your Christmas decorations. We're well almost into January, so I was like, you better not be doing that, man.
Nope, I still have my rope light Christmas tree up and my one string of lights over the door and the windows, so I'm keeping those up.
Oh, dude, that's cool. That saves a little bit of time next year, right? Come on.
Or you're that guy. Are you going to make it a holiday tree where you just decorate it for whatever holiday it is?
Actually, I like the illumination of these Christmas lights in the tree. I don't have to turn on any living room lights, and it's just perfect for watching TV or playing video games. So.
Oh, dude, that's cool. I still got like a little mini Christmas tree up in my room and everything. I just never took it down. So we're still rocking a little festivity going into 2026. It's all good.
Yeah, we've got this big old LED tree that my wife keeps in the bay window, and that's lighting and flashing and doing that'll be up for a little while yet.
That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, you gotta make those Christmas memories last. But now what is it? Like we're in January. We're January 15th, 16th.
18th. We're a little past halfway mark now. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's blazing by. Yeah, man, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me and all that. I'm excited.
Yeah, I was excited. I guess when we first booked you, my wife saw the pictures that Brian posted, and she said, "This guy's in Knoxville." And I'm like, "Oh, no way!"
Yeah, dude, right on, man. I've been here since 2014. Originally from upstate New York, in a little town called Canisteo, New York. More cows than people. Just the most, it's kind of like, just think of, cows and a lot of great people, but a lot of people that you could probably envision on like the Jerry Springer show. So there's a lot of that going on there.
More cops.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wild bunch of people, you know what I mean? And country folk a little bit. Like whenever you say New York, everybody assumes like the Big Apple. No. But I promise you that if you Google Canisteo, New York, it should come up on a map, but it's not the Big Apple. So I was born and raised there, and just basically came to Knoxville in 2014 to pursue the music thing and all that kind of thing.
Awesome. So yeah, my wife's from Brooklyn, but whenever we meet upstate New Yorkers, they're very quick to say, "Well, we're not from the city."
Exactly. Yeah, because you get that all the time. Like as soon as I moved here, I was like, "Yeah, I'm from New York," and everybody's like, "Brooklyn?" I'm like, "No, little cow town, Canisteo. You've never heard of it. We've got a gas station, and that's pretty much it."
Yeah. It reminds me when I went to Bible college. It was south of Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Out in the middle. Here I am. I just got saved in 1985. So I'm a little ruffian kid. Never wore a tie or a suit or anything. And here I am standing on the basketball court at a Bible college. The grass is up to my waist because nobody mowed yet. The next day we had the work day at the Bible college. And I'm sitting there bouncing a ball because I just threw everything in my dorm. And I've never been to college at all. I mean, I didn't even finish high school. I had to get my GED and all that. But anyway, I heard the wind blowing through the tall grass. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Oh, man. Well, how's Michigan in comparison? Is it good?
What's that?
How's Michigan in comparison? No.
Well, it depends on what part of Michigan, because I think Michigan has a bunch of different flavors. Yeah. And right now, I'm out in the sticks.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get that Knoxville accent, but I think I'm pretty much stuck with my New York one.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of stuck with it. I can fake a decent one, but it just isn't as authentic. So I'm like, well, I think I'm just stuck with it. But yeah, man, it's been awesome just being out here for the last however many years, 2014, and my first kind of experience with music. Like I was a kid, growing up in that little small town. A lot of my story and what I tell people is, I was raised in church. Whenever the doors were open, we were there. Pastor's son. On one hand, it was a really great upbringing in terms of just trying to, you know, figure out the questions of your faith. And I never really ever questioned God. But on the other hand, from a very early age, I remember just a lot of dysfunction in the family. I was born with these two disabilities. I had a lot of complications growing up, and I have cerebral palsy and dyscalculia. So I already kind of felt outcasted there in that particular realm of life, getting picked on during school and just living in a small town where it just kind of seemed like, I was always a big dreamer or like I didn't want to be abnormal in a lot of ways, but in a way of like dreaming and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, it was really hard. And on the other hand, with the pastor upbringing, a lot of just different like abusive situations and stuff like that. And so, a lot of my life was trying to parse through my faith and try to figure out what was real and what was fake. We'd go to church on Sunday, and right after church, there'd be knockdown, drag out fights between my mom and my dad. And, all those challenges kind of molded me into what I write about today, I guess. And the core theme of a lot of what I do is all about like standing in defiance, overcoming disabilities, overcoming family dysfunction. Me and Josiah Prince of Disciple released an album or an EP, and it's called In Defiance, and that's really a call to action to like stand in defiance of whatever brings you down, whether it's disability or mental health issues or lack of faith sometimes. And so that's really the core message of what I've been doing, and it's just been great over the past few years, just being able to travel with bands that I admire, and also just God kind of used a lot of the things that I was going through in my life to like propel me in kind of one of the most difficult industries in the world. This is not for the faint of heart, you know what I mean? Like, so, but as we go, man, God just provides, and he has opened a lot of great doors for me. And I just continue to be thankful and continue to work. And, the music industry is like a step-by-step process. It's one of those things where it's like, all of us are fighting out here to do what we do, and hopefully God uses it. And so that's where I'm at right now.
Cool stuff, man. Well, we got some of your music keyed up. We're going to take a listen to some of it and talk about some of it, and let the Lord lead wherever the conversation goes. Before we get to that, Brian, what have you been listening to this week?
I actually have been listening to, like when I was doing my stuff, I had my AI CD thing that I made, the songs I wrote, but I used AI because the lyrics I write are pretty challenging and they keep me straight. So I've been listening to that. And then I was listening to Les Carlson's newest one, and I'm drawing a blank. Oh, it's Free Will. And then I popped in some Lacey Sturm.
Nice, dude. All good stuff, dude, for sure. Love that. Yeah, man. As for me, like my music taste can go from, it's just scattered everywhere. I guess for this week, some artists that I would love to kind of, I guess, shout out that I've been listening to would be, obviously this isn't a Christian band, but they have definitely like impacted a lot of what I do. So I want to give a shout out to, first and foremost, Linkin Park. Everybody's heard of them. They've kind of been on my playlist lately. I just was going through all that. Number two, Brian Head Welsh was another one. I just kind of went down the YouTube rabbit hole and was just kind of like at 2:00, I can never sleep. So I'm just like, what do I look up? And Brian Head Welsh stuff came up. And next thing I know, I'm just going through all of his Love and Death discography and just like jamming out to that at 2 a.m, which explains why I probably have baggy eyes right now. and then honestly, like my sister just moved here from upstate New York. She's been going through a lot of things, and she's a worship leader. She was a worship leader out in upstate New York, and we grew up together. I helped her write some of her first songs in the worship lane, and her name is Deonza McCool. And I've been kind of just like listening to some of her stuff because she comes over like, every other day for like dinners and stuff like that. And so shout out to my sister, Deonza.
Cool. That's awesome. So is she worshiping in a church locally here?
Well, she actually just went to Transformation Church, where we have kind of gone for we kind of church hop. I will admit we do a lot of church hopping because with the music industry, it's really hard to kind of get dedicated into one place. So like you might be gone for, a couple weeks and bounce back. So we have, but lately she's been going to Transformation Church with us, which is just in this area. And I think she's looking to get involved in some of their worship team and stuff like that.
That's cool.
She's a really, really talented and just really thoughtful person. She's been through a lot in her life, and it's really reflected in her worship. She doesn't do a lot of like the really crazy upbeat stuff. She's more like soulful. If you like stuff like, I know this is probably never mentioned on a rock podcast, but we're going to break the rules, like a Kobe Calais or something that's a little bit more just soulful and chill. And then, if you want the heavy stuff, then you come to me. So it all kind of works out. We actually did a video on TikTok. Y'all have to check it out. It's on my TikTok. It's me lip syncing to her really soulful worship song and pretending like kind of embodying the part. Yeah. And then she was headbanging and trying to play my part with one of my songs called Violated. And within 3 minutes, she's like, okay, I don't know how you do this style of music. My neck is strained and I really hurt right now. I'm like, all right, you stick to the worship. I'll do the rock stuff. I think that's how it all kind of has to go.
That's cool.
But yeah,
with We Are Resolute, John and I really don't care if the fans like a certain song, because we're doing this for God.
Yeah. And
the lyrics and the song, if it comes out and it's what God has given me, like we have done some slower songs, and the heavy metal guys are like, skip, blah, blah, blah. But every song we put on our albums has a purpose, and there's a real meaning to them. So like the one song I wrote about my wife dying and going to heaven called I See You, that had to be on the album.
That's awesome.
All the metal guys aren't going to be like, I really love this song. But you never know. Like
you gotta have ballads too, man.
Dave said to me one time, you don't have to have a song rocking just to be good. A good ballad can be a great song. So that's why I put on some slow songs, because of the meaning and the reason for the writing of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, I agree with you 100%. Like I actually, a lot of the songs that we have done have really, done well in the Christian charts and all. But one of the last ones that I released, Not Unreachable, basically was so ballady that they weren't quite sure that they even wanted to put it on Christian rock radio, because they were like, well, like people want to do the headbang and stuff, but it's just a song that I really felt like I had to put out, and I didn't really hear it in a way that was like heavy slamming guitar.
Right.
We have those, and that's fine. We have breakdowns in our music and stuff, but there's always that one part of the show where you just want to sit down. One, because, I'm not as young as I look. And, number two, it's nice to get that like change in atmosphere and vibe. So, I remember we did this festival called Signal Boost not that long ago, and it had all sorts of metal bands. And I basically was just like, all right, I don't know, but I'm going to force you guys to be ballad people for this part of the set. Number one, I got to sit down. I'm sweating. So here's a good ballad. And they liked it, man. I think it just comes down to, if the song's authentic and people can feel what you're saying, they don't mind putting up the lighters for a song or two, and then you can just go right back into the heavy stuff.
Yep. Like Petra, the song that just popped in my head. I am available. That song is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
But it's not going to melt your face off or anything.
No, everything's about like sides. You got to have variety, just like anything else. If I love a good ballad, dude. So all you ballad people that don't like ballads out there, man, we're gearing up for a fight.
Oh man, I'm an '80s kid, man. I was a teenager in the '80s, and I preferred, like the rock ballads to the more heavier rocking songs.
Who were some of your favorite rock ballads of the '80s?
Well, back then, I mean, I'm talking like Cinderella's ballads and Motley Crue and those guys, because they had some really incredible ballads. Home Sweet Home, You Don't Know What's Got Till It's Gone with Cinderella, things like that are slow paced, dramatic. They draw you in. So, and in the rock world, listening to a lot of the stuff from that era, there's some fantastic ballads in the Christian rock world.
Yep.
So we need them. There's a place for that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I went on tour with Petra at one point, and they were playing.
That's cool.
More Power to You.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite, Petra ballads and everything. And they played that, I wouldn't say every night, but a good chunk out of I only did 4 dates with them on that tour. But, 2 out of the 4 nights. Yeah, two out of the 4 nights, man. They were playing More Power to You. And then they would crank it up with Jekyll and Hyde, So
yeah,
it's cool, bro.
You got to have the spectrum,
That's right, dude.
And
I just saw Petra 2 summers ago now. Wow, in Holland, Michigan.
Oh, you did?
That was a great outdoor concert at a church.
Oh, dude, that is so cool, man. Yeah, I had just an awesome opportunity to tour with them. I want to say, 2 years ago now. We did just 4 little shows around Florida in the Florida area. So I got to hang out with those guys and get to chill with those guys and sat in with their meet and greet while everybody was like, who is this? What is there? Another member of Petra that they're just bringing on? I'm like, no.
You're getting arrested and dragged out because they don't know who you are.
Yeah, they're like, there's somebody sitting at your meet and greet table right now, and you might want to take care of that. Oh, no. I'm the opener today, so yeah.
Where you are, buddy.
Yeah, but it was a great experience, dude. Those guys are awesome, and just for I pray and pray and pray that I could be that, up there in age and still give a show like what they do, dude. They really do. They really have not lost any sort of energy. And the one thing I will say is being in the green room with John Schlitt and Bob Hartman, they're really cool and down to earth guys. But I know John Schlitt, when you're on tour with him, he wants to really relax his voice in the green room. And he's like, dude, I gotta, he's got those big notes to nail. Mm-hmm. And he's just so yeah, it was a really cool experience. And I got to meet their keyboardist as well. He opened
John Lowry.
Yeah, dude, he's a great guy, man. We were at the table, at the meet and greet table, and he's sharing his story a little bit, whispering back and forth about just a cancer diagnosis that he had that he believes God healed. And he was like, dude, that was an amazing testimony. I thought I was a goner. And it was really encouraging to be on tour with people like that, because one of the first exposures that I had to rock, or at least Christian rock, was, I picked up a Petra Praise cassette. I'm dating myself now. Right. But Petra Praise cassette, and just rocked that in the car. And so it was really cool to be able to meet those guys and really just realize how the heck did this happen? I came from Cowtown, Canisteo, and now I'm sitting at Petra's meet and greet table, and they're just the nicest people, dude. It was really
they were my first concert. I was at the Welsh Auditorium in Grand Rapids for their Beyond Belief tour.
No way, dude. What year did you go?
Was that 91?
Wow, dude, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, I love those guys. Beyond Belief is definitely one of my favorite songs.
Oh yeah, that concert, I was hooked.
Oh, dude, yeah, I love them, and it's so crazy because they're not even I don't know. I know that's kind of cliche, but they're just down to earth people. I literally was when they were off or on the stage, I'd creep in the show, watch a few songs, hang out, and then Bob Hartman's son, their guitar player, him and I would be playing cards at the merch table and getting to know him. And it's just what is my life right now? This is really interesting. Because by all metrics, I shouldn't have had that opportunity. But it just kind of goes to show God opens the door when he wants to open the door.
You got that right.
Heard of me. Everybody's looking at me who is this person?
You're Matt.
Yeah, it was mind blowing, but it was really cool to just get to meet their people, and every single night, like they gave everything, and I remember just John Schlitt, like right before he never heard him, somebody vouched for me, and it was like, you should bring Matt Sassano on tour, and they literally did, and I just remember going my first date. John Schlitt turned to me, he was like, dude, if you have fun, they're going to have fun. So get out there and just have fun and do your thing.
That's awesome.
And then, from there, man, we all just kind of became pretty decent friends.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they don't make it hard.
You what, buddy?
They don't make it hard to be friends.
Not at all, dude. They're just like really down to earth people. And then kind of the same applies with Seventh Day, getting to know them guys. And we did, way more than 4 dates. I went on tour with them. They kind of introduced me to the whole road life. And so at first, Joe was kind of I was that new guy nobody had heard of. And just through my stepdad, Steve, kind of bugging him while he was live to be like, take Matt Sassano on tour, take Matt Sassano on tour. He like every day Joe would go live. My stepdad, who's been a huge support of mine, would get online and be like, dude, when are you taking him? And finally, it just got Joe's attention. And at first, he was kind of skeptical, but in that time, I was working with Josiah, and Josiah's like, hey, I got this new kid. Have you heard of Matt Sassano? And Joe's like, yes, I have heard of Matt Sassano. And finally, we bugged him enough to where, dude, we did 4 separate, really huge tour legs together. Like, I want to say hundreds of shows together. And so that was really cool. That was really cool, too.
Man, when you first found out you were going to go on tour in Petra, you probably couldn't sleep.
Bro, I was like, I had a friend who knew Bob Hartman. He had gone to one of the churches that we had gone to, and he's always been a huge supporter of me. His name's David Hunter. Shout out to David Hunter. And he just ended up knowing Bob Hartman. And I guess while they were doing a radio interview, because this guy does radio stuff, he was like, you should take my friend Matt Sassano on tour. And I guess it just literally happened. My mom came home that day, and she's like, I got some good news. And I thought, like, okay, pizza for dinner, right? Like, that's cool. And she's like, guess who you're going to be touring with? I was like, what's going to happen? What happened? She's like, dude, you're going on tour with Petra. I was like, what is happening right now? And like I said, dude, like, I don't have those kind of credentials. So to be able to, like, just be propelled on stage with Petra was crazy. And then also you really want to like live up to it. Like I remember one night where like I thought I had lost my mic going on stage and I couldn't find my mic to make my entrance. And I'm like, I can't mess this one up. I'm on tour with Petra right now. So I'm freaking out backstage. Where's my mic? Because I work with tracks. There's a lot of like track-based elements to what I do. And at the time, I didn't have like a band. So right now I got like a guitar player and a drummer. I was literally just doing everything I could to like make travel easy. So I broke one of the many rock rules and I was like, you know what? I don't need a band. I'm just going on tour with Petra. If we have to hook up a laptop and crank it up and make it loud, we'll just do that. And so like everything's kind of synced up. So I was trying to find my mic so I could start singing the song in time. And somebody had snagged it. And so I was freaking out back. There's video of me somewhere going like, where's my mic? Peeking through windows. I'm like, if I mess this up, this is not going to be good. But it ended up being just fine. And, I think hopefully one of these other days I'll get to tour with them again, hopefully, crossing my fingers.
Dude, you freaked me out. I just started like getting nervous because the memory came back. We did a concert, but it wasn't really like a real concert. It was a contest, Battle of Bands.
Oh, yeah.
And it was our turns. You get 10 minutes. That's it, set up. So we're cranking, getting everything up there. And my lead singer did his opening thing, and I was ready to hit. Nothing happened on my guitar.
Oh, no.
I had put my cord in the wrong hole. And so we had to hurry up and find where that stupid guitar cord had to go. And then finally we got to start. I'm like, oh my word, talk about getting nervous just like you.
Dude, I tell you, dude, we've had some pretty bad gigs before, man. I remember one time we played this one little place. I think it's around here now. It was called the Ghost Bar. And literally like it's in the name, Ghost Bar. Like literally that place was, I think they forgot that we were playing. we had like this little guitar amp that we were like, and they're like, yeah, well, we're not set up for you to play, so just go out in the parking lot, bro. We'll just set up your thing. So I'm literally in this parking lot of this bar where they didn't know that we were going to play, and there's one like semi-enthused old lady in a lawn chair. And I'm trying to do like everything I can. I'm like rapping. Like Eminem, I did a Lose Yourself cover, and she just wasn't really feeling it. She was more like humored than actually entertained. She's like, what is this guy doing? I did 4 songs. I'm like, I turned to my stepdad. I'm like, let's get out of here. And we just booked out of that place so quick, man.
Wow.
Shout out to the Ghost Bar, man. So I totally get what you're saying about those gigs that don't quite go exactly like you want them to go. And, had plenty of those experiences. Even last year at Uprise, our guitar player, I hope this doesn't happen again, but like he lost all distortion. So we were doing a lot of our songs just minus the distortion. So little hang-ups, you get up, you brush yourself off, and
there's nowhere to hide either when you're on stage.
Oh yeah, no, and even more so when I was just doing track bass. Like now I at least kind of have a guitar player and a drum player to go, yeah, you're in this with me, dude, right? Crazy. Back then it was just me and like a track going like, nowhere to hide. I want to shrivel up and just hide behind that lawn chair that girl just got up from. But yeah, man, it wasn't an easy road to, Seventh Day Slumber or Petra. Like we've had our share of. One time I had this guy, it was really funny. I was doing a local gig in Canisteo, Cowtown, and literally, we had our merch booth set up, everything like that. I had this weird guy come up to me. I had just got done with a show, and I'm sweating bullets. I'm just like sweating like you couldn't believe. And there's a whole table of merch out there. He's like, I don't want any of this merch. I want the one you're wearing. And I was like, what? Like, you realize there's like sweat stains and just everything on it. He's like, dude, I am 100% sure. I was like, dude, I didn't even deodorize, nothing. Like, you're not going to. And he insisted. And I was like, well, like $15. So I just kind of like, I was like, if you're willing to pay the 15, I'll give you the sweaty t-shirt off my back. Peeled that sucker off. And he went home happier than he probably could. I did try to sign it, but it was so wet from the sweat that it was like the marker was getting like, whatever's for you, bro. Like if you want it, you can have it.
We talked about on another episode where one of our concerts when we were otherwise broken instead of we were resolute.
The
guy didn't pay us. We ended up getting paid like months later with $12.50 each, and the rest of the money that we were owed in meat.
In what? In meat?
Meat. We owned a meat packing company, so we saw the tag. So he just went, okay, $7.94, typed it in. So yeah, my drummer John came over and he goes, well, we didn't exactly get paid.
He's like, well, I got an endorsement from Slim Jim, but I didn't get really much help.
Hey, we were eating prime rib and we were eating lasagna. I mean, it was a good package.
Oh, dude, that's actually pretty cool, though. Like,
yeah.
And
I've got a story to tell too, right?
Oh, dude, that's cool. That's like the weirdest story I've heard. Like we were paid in meat. It's like, dude, hey, better than nothing, I guess.
Yep. I don't even remember what I spent the $12.50 on.
That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, I've never been paid in meat before, but I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I like a good ribeye.
I think that was in there.
Ribeye steak.
Yep.
Oh, dude,
hey,
that's
Paul,
so
hit the comments real quick.
Yeah, let me grab the comments. So we've got Rob Lowe's with us tonight. Good evening, brother. Hey, Rob.
Rob Lowe. What's up, dude? Did you say Rob Lowe?
Yeah.
Not that Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we're really making some
Rob
traction.
Lowe, but
I did message him on
Lowe.
Facebook one time and said, how many lows could Rob Lowe rob if Rob Lowe rob lows?
He's not Rob Lowe. He's been with the show since the beginning.
And he's watching this right now too.
Oh man, well, good to see you, Rob, and yeah, dude, thank you for again just tuning in and hanging out with us, man.
Yep,
we're learning some cool stuff about each other here.
Pat Carnes said, "Hello, gentlemen.
Hey,
good to have you with us tonight, Pat." And Craig Bland says, good evening, y'all. That's Papa Bear. If you want to get on another really good podcast, I recommend you check out Papa Bear show, and he's going to be with us.
Really?
Next month, I think we got a date set up for Craig to come on. So that'll be a fun show. Dude, and awesome. He was sharing that he enjoyed talking with John. You were talking about Petri. He had John Schlitt on. He enjoyed talking with John on his podcast, and he's a great guy.
Papa Bear, awesome. February 8th.
Really? Oh, dude, wait, what's happening February 8th?
Papa Bear will be on our podcast.
Oh, dude, okay. I'll try to tune in for sure, dude. For sure.
Yeah, there's a few of us that do a similar format, and so we don't see it as competition.
Nope.
We see it as family. We're all in the same family. We're all on the same team, Team Jesus, and we're supporting each other. And when one of us succeeds, we all succeed, man. So
and we also support Is It Wrong with Ray Parra and Dave Cruz.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and Tim Ristow is another great show to give a shout out to. So,
if y'all are looking for a guest to chat with, man, I'm down. So let me know. But yeah, great to see you guys, and be sure to add me on Facebook. Right now, I'm kind of banned from Instagram, disabled on Instagram, but we do have Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So please go and if you're checking out this interview, catch up, say what's up.
Yep.
All right, so we did promise to give a little preview of some of your music.
Sure.
So I've got Fuel, Bridges, Fireback, Not My Name, and Dear God. Those are the 5 that I was able to upload with our format.
Oh, dude, cool. I will let you choose, man. Let's go.
All right, so let's check out a little bit of Fuel. Now, I can only play it from the beginning, and I can't chop it because of the way StreamYard runs. But we'll be able to listen to a little bit of the intro and a little bit of it, and then I'll cut it down and let you talk about it and tell us about the genesis of the song, what inspired it, all that kind of whatever you want to say.
At least we can play the music now.
And this is Fuel.
To hear something I never thought I would say. Thanks for the misery and these scars I can't erase. Thanks for all the dirt you threw on my name. You piled it high and tried to bury me, but you should have known when you burned me I would rise out of the fire. You had a plan to destroy me. Instead you took me higher. You are my fuel.
All right. Good.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those that I recorded with Josiah Prince at the ranch here in Nashville or whatever. And basically, it's just it is kind of what it sounds like, like I was talking about my kind of past and even present sometimes as an underdog, somebody who was raised with disabilities and just really one of the least likely to really do anything in life, always in special ed classes or this or that, and Fuel is kind of that thank you letter to the people in your life or in your circle that want to kick you while you're down, but ultimately become that power that you use to kind of proceed, man. And one of the scriptures that kind of came to mind, I know it's pretty much faintly based on scripture, but the idea behind it is like, no weapon formed against me will prosper. You can do whatever you want to do. You can try to, kick me while I'm down, but in the end, God has the final say. And, I know that sounds simple at sometimes to say it that way, but like, I really had to find out that like a lot of what tore me down as a kid and a lot of what like I hated about myself as a kid, whether it be bullying or the things that I dealt with disability wise or whatever, really built me to be propelled in one of the most difficult like industries in the world, which is the music industry, and also gave me stories that I can like share with people. Like, I've been through that. I've done done this. And so that really was kind of the sentiment of Fuel.
Cool.
All right. So obviously there's a faith message there. You shared that part of it. What led you into the Christian music world? What I love the Genesis story. So what caused you to do what you do?
Well, man, it was around the time of my mom and dad's divorce. Like I had always been a fan of music. Like I was that kid that listened to everything. So I would have, on track 1 on my mixtape, it would be, Skillet. On track 2, Casting Crowns. Track 5, Eminem. Mom comes in the room. I switch it back to Casting Crowns. So, so I just became this huge fan of music. And unlike most kids, I just, a lot of people would passively listen, to the things that they listen to. I wanted to be those people. I wanted to whatever lyrics I heard from Linkin Park or Disciple or whatever it was became like gospel to me. So I had, that's where I found my peer group. And I just love everything from rock and hip hop. Never really imagined, dude, that I would ever be a singer. My initial thing was I played bass on our youth worship team, so I was at maybe 18 or so, just picked up bass because I was like, I can't really do guitar. It's really tough on the fingers and it's really hard to figure out all the different. But I was like, if I could just at least look cool doing it, I could figure out bass. This could work like this. And my stepdad started kind of helping me through bass and everything. And I had played on the worship team. Well, it wasn't until years later my parents went through a really bad divorce, and a lot of the things that had shaped me before came to the forefront. I wanted to talk about these newly things like our family dysfunction or the things that, bothered me or, things like that. And so we were in this small town, a little Canisteo. I would draft a singer every other week. It was not my plan to sing whatsoever. I wanted to play bass and write songs. That was my 2 talents. And every other week, dude, we'd get a singer, and the very next week I'd have to introduce somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. And the cycle I just became really deflated in it. And basically what had happened is I walked into this church. This lady did not know me. We just kind of were visiting. And she came up to me and she was like, God wants to use you in music. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. Use me in music. I'm ready to play bass. I'm ready to do it. And she's like, but he wants you to sing. And that's when my heart dropped. And I was the most timid person you could imagine. I was like, sing? Are you serious? And really, after 2-3 weeks of just knockdown, drag out thing with are you sure you heard God? Is this is this real right now? I just kind of stepped into the role. And literally I went from using a Helicon unit on stage, one of those Helicon unit that's kind of keep you on. It's like auto-tune for stage singers, because I was just shy and timid and everything. And, I just kind of grew into the role. And then by the time we moved to Tennessee, Travis Wyrick put me in boot camp, basically for vocalists. He was like, that's, you hear Michael Barnes from Red, you can't sing like that, man. I want to say it from your chest, and he put me in boot camp, bro. He's like, you're moving. At the time I was a really heavy cigarette smoker. He's like, you're quitting that now and you're getting on the treadmill, bro. And he basically just whipped me into shape into the singer I am today. And it's kind
did he throw a wrench at you and said, if you can dodge a wrench?
Exactly. Yeah. That type of energy for sure, dude. He was it was funny. I was in studio and, I was a chain smoker, and he was just like, dude, you can't even breathe. What is going on, man? You're going to have to quit that right now. And so 5 minutes later, not knowing how brash Travis was, I go to light up a cigarette. He's like, what did I tell you, bro? I was like, oh, I thought you meant sometime. No, I mean now.
You're done now.
He gave me the vape, which was a temporary out, and I was able to quit that and become a singer. But that's the long version.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Now, do your fans know all this from previous things, or is this a new?
Some of this I'm breaking new a little bit, But yeah, dude, it's been a crazy story, and I'm glad to share it on here too, man.
That's great.
It's been fun so far.
Isn't it cool how God uses music? It's so universal. We were talking with another guest. Even people over like in Germany can't speak English, but they can sing all the Bloodgood songs.
Oh, dude, that's so crazy.
How God uses music. Your life experience, my life experience, we put them in our music, and we do it not for pride. We do it to help others because we have experience, and that's how God works. The trying of your faith works patience, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. So, and yeah, it's crazy. I see that all the time of like people doing concerts, and then the other people from other nations and countries like knowing those lyrics verbatim, and they don't even know the language. It's like that's always mind blowing to me and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, I got into this music thing because I just loved rock and roll. I loved what it spoke about. I loved just the aggression in the music, not necessarily aggression, but like with skill at like the cinematic nature of their music and just how it could motivate a crowd. And then too, I just so happen to have a lot to say and get off my chest. I was raised in a church where everything was swept under the rug, and we were kind of trained to just suck up our problems and not be transparent, and that became my goal. I was like, man, I really want to speak to where maybe other Christian bands, I love other Christian bands, but maybe what are some things that are not being spoke about right now? So we have songs about everything from human trafficking to disabilities to domestic abuse to all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of become not necessarily my lane, but what's really kind of built my story. And it's cool because I always felt like in church too, like a lot of people would give you the polished answer, or they would always a lot of times they wouldn't really understand where I would come from. And even if they did, they'd be like, well, pray about it and that's it. And they really wouldn't want to take the time to get to know me. So I feel like my music is like a window into conversations about these things, whether it be domestic abuse or disabilities or whatever it is. And so, yeah, it's been awesome, man.
So you remember, go ahead, Paul.
No, go ahead. Cause I was going to,
as a fan, I remember using White Cross and Petra and all those bands to, hey dude, to a non-saved person, you got to listen to this because remember we were talking about that one X topic or whatever this song is all about. And so it's really weird, isn't it? Because you probably felt this transition when you went from being just a fan, now you're in the business.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit weird, but I never stopped feeling like a fan. Like whenever
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, it's so nuts because you almost feel like you grow with those experiences, but you're living it every day, so you don't really understand like how far you maybe have come or the impact of it. Every time I get on tour with like a bigger band, like I always felt like I just teleported there or whatever because I'm like, I don't belong here. Like I don't really. I mean, I'm glad people have like liked my talents and enjoyed my songs and everything. But really, at the end of the day, dude, like all the music that we put out, my stepdad does the Spotify, distribution. My mom takes the pictures. My girlfriend and I do the album artwork. Cool. My mom and I put the YouTube videos up, and I do the Facebook and Instagram when I get so like. Everybody has this like grandiose picture of like what the industry really is, but really all it is, like for me at least, has been very much like independent, like very much just making cover artwork myself in my living room watching Saved by the Bell. And so,
I used to watch that.
Well, I think that's the nature of the music now, because even the legendary bands from the Immortal Fest guys, many of them are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And so that's just kind of where we are right now in the industry.
It's like a double-edged sword. Yeah,
it's kind of, but I think it helps get music out there that wouldn't have been heard before because, when the record companies controlled everything, they were the gatekeepers.
Yep.
And now the opportunity for independent artists to jump into the mix and be recognized and elevated to be able to get the message out. I think it's kind of better now. in that
Yeah,
sense.
it is in a lot of ways. Like I would say in the way of like creation and distribution, it's a lot better.
Yep.
In the way of attention, because we live in an attention economy,
Yeah.
it's hard. I'd have to like, pick a fight with John Cooper, challenge him to a boxing match to get attention or something, so it's hard. I wouldn't do that, by the way. I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there, so don't come looking. But I'm just saying,
if you
like,
do, we'll broadcast it live on Road Less Traveled.
Pay-per-view.
That match would be over in seconds, I'm sure. But yeah, the idea is like you like the possibility of gaining attention is out there, but like the probability is so much harder because everybody's got scroll brain, and it's really hard to like retain people's attention. So you almost have to do 10 times more to retain people's attention. And to be honest, I can get jealous sometimes. I'll see a band that I like or whatever. I'm like, why do they get 400 likes and I've got 22 right now, man? I'm trying my best. So there's that element like where nobody wants to admit it, but there's that element where it's like, well, why can't I feel like I'm putting my best out. So on one hand, it's great. Love Spotify, love doing this all on my own and not being beholden to a record company. And on another hand, come and add me on social media so we can chat, everybody.
Hey, we're running out of time faster than I thought. We should do another song of his.
Yeah, let's do another song.
Sure.
Is there one you want to do in particular, or pick one?
No, just anything you really want to do, man. I'm up for it.
All right, I got Bridges keyed up next, so let's go
Awesome,
take
bro.
a listen to that.
That's an old school.
So that rocks. I mean, that's like right in my wheelhouse there.
Bro,
Like,
that was one of the first songs I ever wrote. And it was in a band that I was in. My very first band was called Transparent. And we were just a small little band in Little Cowtown, Canisteo. We had 4 songs released. And it was kind of a long story, but this song ended up on this video game right here. That song ended up on the NASCAR video game soundtrack.
No way.
Yeah, dude, we were just like a nobody band. I had a friend that was in a digital media class with me, and he had heard my song, and he was like, dude, I really love this song. Since you've been so nice to me in this class, I have some connections with a video game developer, and I'm going to just pitch your song to them. And I was like, dude, there's no way like that's ever going to happen, but you can try, like, go ahead. And he's like, dude, I'm going to try. I'm going to just try to do it. I was like, dude, we have 4 songs out. There's nothing like, we have 4 songs, 3 done. And what ended up happening is like, it went through, and like, it was like the next thing I know, we're playing Hot Dog Palace on Main Street in Hornell, New York, with about, a couple 50 kids. And we're on the soundtrack with Stained and Uncle Cracker and Simple Plan and Switchfoot and a lot of like both mainstream and secular bands. We were a young band, so we really didn't know how to monetize that opportunity. But at the same time, dude, I've been like, there's a lot of kids that come up to me being like, dude, I grew up playing that NASCAR game with my dad, and
no way
that music, that song got me into heavy music. And so we're going to be re-releasing it on Spotify because a lot of people don't know that I wrote the song. Like they like that band had broken up after I had wrote that song, and we just kind of absolved from existence, and then I just like restarted under my own name. So there's a lot of people that have heard that song on the video game. They grew up playing it, but they don't know I'm the person behind it.
That is so cool. I got goosebumps just thinking about having one of my songs on a video game, how that would feel.
It was weird, bro, because like I said, like, again, goes back to like God opening opportunities. Like we literally don't, we had no connection. I was literally like in a digital media class with a bunch of high schoolers because I didn't know what to do with my life in my early 20s, and I couldn't graduate. There was just all sorts of things. And I made a friend that, like, you know, I just was really nice to him and, you know, talked to him and hung out. And he's like, dude, I love your music. I'm just going to try to pitch it. And next thing I know, like, wow, that's kind of a piece of little history there for some people out there. So, yeah, man. And I'm excited because that's going to be my next release back on Spotify, Bridges. And that song is all about, like, the prodigal son, you know, somebody who burnt their bridges. They don't know how to find their way back to a family member or God or whatever you have it. But it was cool because it was on this soundtrack that was literally with, like, a lot of, like, non-Christian bands and, like, bands that you never really hear. And people message me to this day and they're like, what inspired Bridges? And I get to say, like, you know, the story of the prodigal son in the Bible was partly that inspiration, you know? And so that's pretty cool.
How God does this. We don't.
Exactly, bro. I had no idea. Like, I just kind of, like, living in this small little town, and, you know, here's Dale Earnhardt right here. And every time you fire up that game, you know, my song was on there. And the last year before that was, like, ZZ Top. So, like, it was just like, what is going on here? And like I said, dude,
that is so cool.
You know, we didn't really know how to, like, make much of that opportunity. So it did come and go, but I still get people that are like, are you the Matt that wrote that song? Like,
are you the Matt?
Yeah, that's me, dude. That is me. And it's funny because our current guitar player that I just I've been working with, he grew up listening, listening to that song, and he's like, dude, I can't believe I get to work with the Matt who wrote Bridges, man. I'm like, calm down. Calm down. But it's cool.
Like, dude. I'm not worthy. You're just kidding.
Yeah. There's little pockets of people that might know that song, which is really cool. You know, that's just completely out of our circle.
That's so cool. So you brought up a lot of things, and I think, like, I want to do another show where we talk about the other stuff. Like, this is the music show. This is the night we talk about you and your music and all of that. But man, you brought up so many things, you know, about church, family, and about your background that kind of falls in line with a lot of stuff that Brian and I talk about when we're not with a guest.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So that's awesome.
I'm thinking, man, an hour's not long enough for you as a guest. So I'm probably going to try and book you again soon.
Yeah.
And do a night where we talk about the state of the church and all that. Because that's really the message behind your music, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, dude. A lot of it is, you know what I mean? Like, I try to be that gateway, maybe, that if somebody's maybe not a theologian or they maybe they don't know the Bible, there's always that grain of truth. Like, you wouldn't necessarily think Bridges, like a song like Bridges was about the prodigal son, because it just sounds like a song about somebody who's, like, burnt their bridges. But, like, I take inspiration, like, same with Fuel. It seems like just like a pump you up type, you were my fuel. But, like, I like to take songs and, you know, kind of infuse little biblical messages in there and all that. You know, it's really cool. And when you're talking about the state of the church, man, we could go on for hours, man. I've seen both an inside and outside view of all that, being raised in it.
Yeah, so, I've been a pastor for many years and been in some really good situations and some really not good situations. So I'm sure we could share war stories all night long.
Hey, we have time for one more song if you want to try and squeeze it in.
Yeah, I do want to do
I'll
one
try to
more.
be a little shorter on my explanation, but we can do that.
No,
yeah, we got Not My Name, Fireback, and Dear God. Which one would you, if we got to do one?
Bro, which one do you think? What do you think? Let's go Fireback. It's not released, so nobody's heard the song yet.
All right, so world premiere, Fireback. You got it here first.
You heard it here.
First show.
Here we go.
I'm under fire, on the ropes again. You shoot to kill, there's a target on my skin. This is the last time you'll catch me with my guard down. Come at me with all you got, I'll fire back.
That's good
I can
stuff,
see the
man.
skillet. I can see the skillet and pillar and POD kind of influences.
Absolutely, man. I love that kind of stuff. And like I said, I've never played that song. It's not even out yet. I just sent it to you guys for like a special, like, hey, man, we'll start early talking about the song. But
There you go, guys. You heard it here first.
That's right, bro.
Here.
Yeah, only me and my family and girlfriend have heard that song. So you guys are first on that one. But yeah, man, like really, I just wanted to create you like a pump you up anthem. And what really inspired that song was it was around New Year's last year. And I got to thinking, like, what are the vices and the things that I've allowed to overpower me this year that I haven't fired back against? And so I started looking at things like in my own life, like pornography or whatever it is that you kind of go year and after year and you passively accept just being dominated by this one thing or those vices. And I was like, man, it's time to fire back this year and, just give it all we got, And so that kind of just became my New Year's resolution anthem, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now where can everybody find your music and more about you?
Sure, man. So right now we've got mattsassano.com, which should link to most of the social media platforms. Right now, my Instagram, Meta has disabled my Instagram, but I'm on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and the website and all that stuff. Also Spotify, like as you can see, please stream it and support us because, us artists out here, we could use all the support we can get. So,
all those pennies, right?
Dude, all those little half pennies, man. Thanks a lot, Daniel Eck. But yeah, do anything you can to support. And I'd love to just, like I said, I'm a person that's pretty personable. So if you message me, I do try to message back and say hey to everybody and all that. So,
thank you for that one post where if I message you or something, you tell some good things about me. So thank you for those good, nice words.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I'll get I'm bad at sleeping, so I'll be like, hey man, like I'll just want to spread good vibes. I'll describe you in 3 words, just like my status.
That's what it was.
Like, yeah, give everybody a confidence boost throughout their day.
Are you the one that always says, "Is anybody else awake right now?" Is that you?
Yeah. I am a really bad insomniac, but you know what? Honestly, that's where most of the songs get written, so I can't really complain. Because that's when everything quiets down and I'm able to put the headphones on and start writing. So, yeah, guys, thanks for having me on, dude. You guys are awesome.
No, this is great.
Do you have any physical media?
Oh, sure, yeah. We sell all that stuff on my mattsassano.com. You can go and grab a In Defiance EP. That's the 5-song EP with like kind of the breakout stuff that we did. And then the rest is on Spotify. Eventually, I think we'll get some CDs printed up of some updated stuff. But you can go and grab that In Defiance, and any support you can give. Just really
merch.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Some shirts, and just all the standard merch you would think of. We're going to be updating that stuff too here within 2026. But go and grab yourself a Matt Sassano T-shirt. And like I said, dude, it really does help. I don't think like a lot of artists like really put that out there enough. But like I said, we're all doing this on our own. Like I said, my whole family's the team. We're not making boatloads of money. It's all smoke and mirrors. We just need your support, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a ministry for sure.
That's one of the reasons why we do this is to help artists get their name out and get promoted, to support, man, because none of this stuff's free. It costs money to do all of this. So
just to travel any distance, like going from Minnesota to wherever you're going, like a lot of times we're just doing it out of our own pockets, and stuff like that. There, and so people have this false misconception. So anytime you get an opportunity to support an artist, I'm not lecturing anybody. It really does like make us sweat a little less on the road. Go, oh my gosh, oh man, we can eat something more than tuna fish sandwich on the road. We can keep going.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Wendy's or whatever, So yeah, do that, and I really appreciate that.
All right, well, dude, thank you so much for being with us tonight, man. This has been awesome. We're right down the street from each other, so I'm going to be in touch, and maybe we'll grab lunch or something one day. and that'll be really cool. So,
hey, man, we'll keep on doing what you guys are doing, man. And I'm really excited to see where this continues to go. And I know that we're going to be playing some local shows in the area, this year. So come on out, man. I'd love to see you, man. That'd be great.
yeah, absolutely. Just keep us
our way to
updated.
Michigan.
If you guys go to Michigan, let me know so that I can go. So,
oh, dude, absolutely. Yeah. Good to meet you guys. You have a great night, guys.
Thanks, man. You too. Anything we can do to help promote your shows, let me know, man. We'll get the word out too.
Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you later. God bless.
Right. Thank you, guys. And thank you, everybody, for being with us tonight. Thank you to everybody that made comments. Sorry we didn't get to your comments, everybody. But thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Gene, for being with us. And God bless everyone. We'll see you all next.
See ya.